Thank you, Honorable Lonze.
No, thank you very much, Chair. I'm going to try to run through these because I've got quite a few questions. Greetings, CEO, Chair. I know both of you are fairly new, but I do want to wish that you have at least brought in a team that would have been in the entity for some time. So if you don't have answers to some of these questions, Chair or CEO, feel free to give them to the other members of NSFAS who would have been there long before. I want to start with the question of defunding very quickly. CEO, imagine a scenario, someone comes from a rural province, Limpopo, Eastern Cape. They are accepted by the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. They go and study in Cape Town because they've received the offer. In fact, they even start receiving allowances. They get payments. They are paid in February, they are paid in March, April, June. They are doing their courses. They are passing, they are writing tests, they are writing exams. And then, boom, in June, they are defunded. Do you agree, CEO, that even if there were strong, compelling reasons, would you agree with me that that is certainly not the time to defund a student, especially when they would have moved and started? Let's say you've got correct reasons. This person was not supposed to be funded to begin with. Now, why do you make them travel, CFO, all the way? Because you have given them that certainty. You have given them that promise. They've entered a social contract with NSFAS that I'm traveling all the way to Cape Town to study at UCT because I've received funding from this government. I've written my first test, I've passed, I've written an exam, I've submitted my assignments. I'm on the course of finishing my qualification as a student. And then, because NSFAS says, we made an error, it was supposed to be TVET funding, no, it's university, no, there was a system glitch. In June, I'm defunded. Just quickly your views on that, CEO. Again, I know you are new, so you can give it to the other members as well.
Yeah, thanks. Through you, Chair. Perhaps let the COO respond to the reasons for defunding, and then I'll give my view here.
Press this side.
Oh, yes, thank you very much, Chair. So I think with regards to the reasons for defunding, this had a lot to do with the sort of data that we had. And it speaks to the systems that we have in terms of saying that, are we able to determine financial, do we have enough data that's able to determine financial eligibility?
So, sorry to interject, Chair. I get the reasons. I did say the reasons may be correct. But look at the social impact. You have given someone funding, they've traveled all the way to Cape Town, then you defund them. Like, is it correct to defund someone in the middle of the academic year? Is that not something that was supposed to be well dealt with by NSFAS in the previous year, so that you don't give that person an offer to begin with if you're of the view that they are not supposed to get an offer?
Yeah. So I think that is why, excuse me, that is why, Chairperson, it's important to make sure that we start the preparations for the following year very early.
So you accept that it's wrong to defund
Yes.
someone in the middle of the year?
It's not
Thank you, COO. And let me go to the next question with respect. Just quickly, CEO, you don't have to be long on this one. How far are we with the loan applications? Because I know there were some delays in terms of the missing middle people. You can just give a rough one-word answer in terms of percentage. We've covered X percent or so, yeah.
Thanks, Honorable Lonse. I think through you, Chair, all loan applications have been assessed and final decisions have been communicated. That's the view I have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, CEO. With student accommodation, I think a lot of the members really have spent a lot of time talking about the collapsing state of student accommodation. In fact, part of the reason we lost the life of a student in Walter Sisulu University, amongst many other reasons, was because the students were fighting for the horrible, inhumane state of student accommodation. And you have got companies that are accrediting these places. So again, maybe CFO, let me start with, I'll just need a quick response from you here. Because who accredits, what are the names of these companies that accredit student accommodation?
Chair, through you, there are 39 companies who are accreditation partners. I can give you, you want all of the names?
Yeah, I think you can share that with me.
Okay.
And then the follow-up question to that is that every month these companies are given 5% of the money that NSFAS pays. And we're told that this 5% is some type of a working fee or servicing fee. Now, CFO, let's take an accommodation that provides for 300 students. Now, the only time these companies do work is when they go and accredit. So they perform the service once. So Sihle goes there, is an ANC comrade linked to some NSFAS people. He goes and he accredits. No, just on a lighter note, Chair. He goes and accredits, let's say, about 300 students. We're paying per head about 4,500. So we're looking at 3.1 million rands that we're paying for these 300 students in this accommodation. And then this guy accredits this thing once, but we pay him 5% every month. So he's getting about 67,500 rand every month for a service that is only performed once. Because it's not like these people, they go back to check every month. Is this accommodation still at a state that it was supposed to be? And do you know how I know that they don't check? Because NSFAS says to us we were tricked. The university provided pictures that says that this accommodation is in the correct state. But when we went to go check, we discovered that actually this is a shack. So that's a clear admission from NSFAS that there is no constant check-up by these 37 private accommodation providers. Now, I want to find out, COO or CEO, or anyone in NSFAS, how much have we spent on these private service providers who are given a responsibility to go and accredit student accommodation in South Africa?
Thanks, Honorable Nonsi. Through you, Chair. So I think I'm going to take a moment to explain what I understand to be the student accommodation process. And I think here it is very important to clarify, Chair, that this is a system that the board and myself inherited at NSFAS. But what you have, even before we bring the intermediaries into it, is you have students, you have private accommodation providers, and you have institutions, right? Now, there are two types of intermediaries which exist. One is the accreditation partners. An accreditation partner's role is to go out and verify accommodation, give it a classification, and give it a grade. The 39 accreditation partners receive, and I'll give you the amounts here. If they accredit between 1 to 20 beds, they receive 160 Rand. If they accredit 21 to 50 beds, it's 120 Rand. 51 to 100 beds, it's 100 Rand. And more than 100 beds, it's 80 Rand. That money is not paid by NSFAS, it's paid by the solution partner to the accreditation partner. The solution partners are 4 intermediaries who handle different regions in South Africa, who have the responsibility for designing online portals on which private accommodation providers can list accommodation. So private accommodation providers log on to the portal, they list their private accommodation, it's referred to an accreditation partner who will go and accredit, give it a relative grade, and then when a student gets to campus, they can log on to that portal, choose their accommodation. The portal is also used to upload the lease agreement and elements such as that there. The solution partners receive 5%. They receive 5%, which is deducted from the landlord's payment. So the allowance table that you see from NSFAS, if somebody is paid 52,000, which is a metro rate for private accommodation, they will receive 52,000 less 5%, which the solution partner retains as services for the utilization of their portal.
So, sorry to, with respect, CEO, because I've got limited time,
Yes.
but I do want to understand, what are these solution partners receiving the 5% for?
Yeah, I've paused your time, because
All right.
I'm allowing him to explain the differences, and then I'll allow you to
Yeah.
do the follow-up.
So let me say that the solution partners receive that fee for the utilization of their online portal. They also have to use that fee, I assume, to pay the accreditation partners for facilitating the monthly invoicing and payment and all of those kind of things. Let me also say, Honorable Lonzi, through you, Chair, is that we have, the board and management find these contracts to be deeply problematic. The nature of the system indicates to us that there are problems. But there is contractual law in South Africa here. While we may not have signed those contracts, we are bound by them, which is why we would have instituted a legal review into the solution partners as well as their accreditation partners. In addition to that, the SIU has also flagged this complex accommodation process for review and is at the initial stages of the investigation of the process, and I'm sure they will make recommendations. While we are here, we are stuck with this process here. There is no alternative. And my concern is that the system can't be shut down overnight. That is why you'll see we worded the presentation to say we are developing a transitional framework for student accommodation. Because what we don't want to create, we agree the current system does not work. What we don't want to create is a mass-based eviction of students overnight that has the potential to create instability across the country. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, maybe.